thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Gonzáles. I'm Director of External Relations of Prodintec at Spanish Technology Center. I'm also very proud of being Chairman of the networking working group in NANOfutures. I share the position with Eva Vinica, and also we are working in close collaboration with Andrea Reinhardt and Thomas Tadrozny from the Communication Working Group. So first of all, I'm a little bit ashamed of talking about effective communication after so nice presentation from outstanding scientists focused on communications in this EuroNanoForum. So I will say that my approach is very humble and just to say what we are doing in NANOfutures and how we plan to communicate the specific results of the keynotes and the outputs of the NANOfutures platform. So first of all, some introduction. We have already heard a lot about the commercialization of nanotechnology. So now we can say that the consumer marketplace is becoming rich or is intending to become rich with nanotechnology-based or enhanced products. I got some data from USA because we have already heard many indicators from the European situation. So I think it's important also to mention what is going on outside of Europe. So there was a project on emerging nanotechnology in USA, and they have identified all over the world close to 1,300 manufactured nanotechnology-enabled products that have entered the market. So according to this survey, this study, the use of nanotechnology and the trend is believed to continue up to 3,400 in 2020. So this is just an introduction or to be clear that in order for these products to make a difference in our lives, we need to find the benefit, the added value. So the nanotechnology cannot be an end by itself. It has to be a tool in order to find products with benefit for the final customers, for the society. Because we are asking these people to spend money in what we produce. So it's very important to reach the general public and also to try to cut through the today's noisy clutter that nanotechnologists are spreading. So public perception, talking about the general society. So there was also a study from Penn State that they found the general public was only vaguely aware of nanotechnology in 2007. In 2008, they found that Americans only 70% have heard some about nanotechnology, 26% just a little, and 49% nothing at all. So this is something, it's a positive message because it's not a European problem, it's a global problem. So now all the world is facing how to really reach the market with nanotechnology-based products. And also who should do it? I mean, we need to, it's not just the scientists, it's also end users, it's investors, it's industry. We need to educate people in order to really deliver the key message that we need to give benefits and something good for customers. It could be because of the good properties of the materials, but it could be also because it's more fancy. So people can or are able to spend money on us. So moreover, people tend to believe nowadays that the benefits will emerge in 25 years' time. But we have promised a disruptive change in nanotechnology. So we are convincing policymakers, European Commission, we are convincing national and local governments to invest a huge amount of money in nanotechnology. And we should try to keep our promises, not only running the development processes, but also listening to the final customers. We cannot fail with this issue. For instance, when I talk about communication, I have a background in scientist. I was a carbon nanotube producer and scientist. So my dad, when I talk about general society, I always have to need a face, right? So I always talk about my dad. So no scientific background, but I need to convince him that nanotechnology is going to be really nice for him. So he organized with his friends, a really nice young audience, 70 years old average, a talk about nanotechnology. And the first impression was just open the mouth, saying, wow, I mean, this is really going to change my life. But it was already 4 years ago, and I still meet this my dad friends and my dad, and he's telling me, I cannot find products in nanotechnology. Even though when I see nano in some products, I feel that it's good, but I don't understand very well what it is and where is nano. So now it's time to really keep our promises, so I can tell my dad that he has invested good money in my education. So communication, why? General society. Broader public have a voice. They are final customers. It will take time for science to answer key questions. Still, we are in the science step, even though we should move already to development and innovation. The public debate is happening. We have already heard here in EuroNanoForum that people are aware of the importance of communication and networking. And maybe traditional communications are not adequate anymore in this environment. And it's not just general public, it's also stakeholders, our customers within NANOfutures. So we need to explain them to researchers why it's so important to reach the market. And we need to explain industrialists why it's so important to work with researchers close to close. This is very easy to say, so let's work together. But it's very difficult to implement, and we all know that. And we need better understanding of the commercial potential, the benefits, safety issues, and so on. So, communication and network activities are of increasing importance, considering marketing, Eva has already mentioned. So, considering that the adoption of nanotechnology depends on public acceptance. And these are key factors to ensure meeting the objectives and ensuring added value activities. So, the Commission is not just looking from the barrier and doing nothing. I mean, there are already really nice initiative projects, funded projects dealing with communication. So they define very well what is the target, they define which are the stakeholders and how to do it. And we should keep this way because it's a lot of work to be done. Challenges. Nano is unique, cross-disciplinary, with biologists, chemists, mathematicians, engineers. I got an email from Emilio Mendez, Professor Emilio Mendez. He's a Fujitsu Award in USA and the director of one of the most outstanding centers in USA. And he said that it's time for engineers in nanotechnology. So now we need to involve people dealing with development in the nanotechnology world. And nano is complex. I'm not going to explain you why. Nano is disruptive. I mean, evokes fear of the unknown. Still, there are so many questions open. Challenges all beliefs. It changed completely. I mean, we are constructing and building things from the atomic level. Alters the usual way we do things, creates unrealistic expectations. It's the open mouth of my dad. So we have to be very careful that we don't say that this is science fiction, that we can say that this nanotechnology could be a reality in the next years. And requires new risk-benefit equations and doesn't conform with some current policies and standards. But how to do communication is clear. I mean, and it's easy to write on the paper, researchers, industrialists, policymakers, press, etc. But we, very humbly, within NANOfutures, we are trying to find these channels, these multipliers, that people can really trust on. So I don't know in your countries or whatever, but maybe we need to understand what people are listening at and to. For instance, highly reputed scientists. Maybe it's not a politician who should say how important nanotechnology is, but it should be just key people, 2, 3 in each region that, for example, my dad, again, which is the star of this talk, can really say, okay, I believe on that and I will buy something based on nano. Media. General society really believe in media, in newspapers. They are so important channels. Maybe sometimes scientists, we are so picky that we don't believe too much because they are not so purist or they are not so accurate in how they spread the news. But general society believe in what the newspapers say. So let's try to get them involved because they have a multiplier effect. And in summary, key people who are capable of really spreading this message efficiently. So what we want to do in NANOfutures is to coordinate activities at regional and national level. Very important to get the regions and nations involved. Europe is huge. We have different languages, we have different policies makers and policies, so we need to at least try to align with what we are doing here at the European level, because otherwise we can take the risk that we do something at European level and the regions and the SMEs and the companies and the policies are completely different at local level. So we take our luggage and we fly to Prague, we fly to Germany, we go to different parts of Spain in order to explain very easily what we want to achieve. This is, again, we have to adapt the message. It's not the same, but this is logic. I mean, I'm not saying something new, but sometimes it seems we fail to how to do it. We need to adapt the message. It's not the same to talk to researchers, to normal people than industrialists. It's completely different. And sometimes even works to deliver the message in their own language, which is also a cultural barrier sometimes. So in the platform, we're trying to be a connection point between ongoing activities at regional and national level. We want to be a pool of stakeholders that want to do business, that want to find trustable partners, and we could be this hub in order to contribute with some grain to the final objective, which is the commercialization of nanotechnology. To have a strong collaboration with communication, networking and communication has to be very close to each other, and to find the desired mechanisms for knowledge exchange and cooperation in each specific field country. So what we are doing now, after 1 year, we are talking to main clusters, industrial clusters, people doing nanotechnology and companies, but also industrial clusters that maybe they are not nano producers, but they are really potential end users for using nanotechnology product, and trying to connect these industrial clusters with the nano people. We talk with the Enterprise Euro network, network which really have more than 40 countries. They have stakeholders, they have already good pilots that we can use them in order to multiply the message, and also with the regions and local and national level. This is a key. I think we have already, with Hans, with Christos, discussed many times this issue, but we should make an effort, really an effort, in order to make the locals and the regions involved. But again, we need to find the key ones that can really drag the others. We cannot go to all the European regions. So finally, within our project, we have international transfer events. You will receive, please, if you join our web page, I will explain later how to do it, but join us because you will be aware of the meetings, you will be aware of the working groups. You are very welcome, because NANOfutures will be what you want to NANOfutures want to be. Wow, I mix a little bit, but I think you understand. And start effort to involve key actors at the regional level. And we want to promote collaborative projects. Of course, it's important also to have funding and to find key partners, and still we are in the research and development. And finally, just please go to nanofutures.eu. Over there you have the web page. You can, it's for free. You can post, you can start a debate. Nowadays we are more than 500 members, and in the networking and communication groups together we are 200 people. So please, we will be more than glad to have you on board. Thank you very much.